this is Tina from Shabbydabbydoodah. Welcome back to my channel. So I'm here for a bit of a play around today. I've got this picture frame, which this was obviously, you know, a picture that was kind of up on my wall years ago. I've taken the glass out and I've taken the actual picture out. And so what I'm working directly onto now is, you know, the back board, if you see what I mean. So obviously I've taken the glass out, I've taken the print out that was in there. I've put the board back in, painted the board before I put it back in, perhaps I should say. And I just randomly stamped all over the board. And I've obviously painted the frame, although that was, you know, a long time ago now. And it's now become quite damaged. So I thought I would resurrect this project because, you know, I haven't worked on it for a long time. But I thought, actually, I will come along and do it with you guys. You know, why do it kind of on my own when we could do it all together and have a lot more fun? So I've got a whole bunch of different stuff on my desk. I can't tell you how crammed full my desk is today. It's worse than ever. So I've got to start with some, or not got to start with some, but I've got some things to start with, perhaps I should say. Some of the stencils, Tim Holtz stencils. And I've got here my texture paste, my, you know, this is the heavy gesso. Yeah, I don't know really what the difference is between the texture paste and the heavy gesso. This is, you know, what I've kind of had reasonable success with. So, yeah, for me, I think this is the thing that I feel most comfortable using at the moment. I'm not saying I always will, but yeah, definitely at the moment, this is kind of the thing that I seem to kind of feel most comfortable using. For things like this. Now, I've just got this tiny little spatula, so I'm going to try and just apply some of this, and I just want to apply this in random places. So I'm just going to take some of my gesso and just, you know, spread this just in one or two random places across the board. Now, bearing in mind, this is not a canvas. This is, you know, this is a hardback board, but we're just trying to make a piece of art for the wall, you know, some wall art. You know, reusing, recycling, upcycling, you know, some unused or disused frames and what have you. So I'm just going to do this. Now, again, I don't know how well this is going to come out here on the frame. It's very much wing and a prayer stuff going on here. So, well, it's not too bad, to be honest. You know, maybe not brilliant, but yeah, not too bad. And then I might just have a little bit down here as well. So again, just going with my heavy gesso, might get a bit more. And I'm using the white, but I will probably kind of ink over this anyway. So yeah, probably won't kind of stay looking too white. Okay. Like I say, I mean, I actually did the kind of beginnings of this quite a long time ago. You know, so long ago, I can't really even remember when it was or anything. But yeah, it just been kind of behind my desk on the floor for a long time, and I kept thinking, oh, I must come back to that. I must come back to it. And yeah, I just thought, well, actually, no time like the present. Right, I'm just going to go around that corner, actually, even though I'm not convinced that this is working brilliantly on the frame itself, but let's just go around there like that. You know, it's just brilliant to be able to upcycle some, you know, some things that you might have previously had on your walls and now, you know, you don't like them or don't have them up anymore. It's brilliant if you can reuse them and kind of just have them in a different way, isn't it? And to be honest, if you haven't got, you know, any old pictures or anything like that, I mean, I think you can normally pick them up pretty cheaply and easily in sort of second-hand stores. You know, I think they always seem to have like a corner with a few pictures and things. I also see them quite frequently at car boot sales. But, you know, it may depend where you live, whether you would see them. I don't know. But yeah, you know, you can look around in various places, I think, for them. So that's my gesso. Now, I probably should actually dry this so that I'm not, you know, smearing it and smudging it everywhere. I was trying not to have to keep on breaking the video because just from an editing point of view, it just takes such a long time if you have to actually start joining videos together. So I'm just going to nip behind me and heat this up with my heat tool. So I won't be a moment, and I do apologise that I can't do it on camera, but my heat gun is not, you know, it's not reachable to my desk, I'm afraid. So I'm just going to quickly do this. You know, I just want to dry it just so as I'm not smudging it, basically. Okay. Just go over there. Okey-dokey. Now I've also brought along some snippet roll. Now I don't know whether I'm going to be able to make the snippet roll work or not, but we'll have a look and see. Okie dokie. Hoping that that's dry now. Not too dry. Not very dry. Oh well, I'm just going to have to be careful for a little while, because otherwise it's going to be very boring for you guys just watching me. Well, watching nothing basically, because you can't obviously see the, you know, the dryer. Right. So quite liking, you know, that patchy kind of look with the gesso. Now, my snippet roll, I'm just going to show you. So this is a snippet roll, I think probably that we did on film together. Although again, it must be a long time ago because I can't really remember. But I'm just wondering whether we could have this along here. So let's try and tear off this section here. Because I thought this was really nice colours against the frame. You know, what we've put on here so far, I thought it looked really nice with these colours, doesn't it? Yeah, I quite like that. Now, I think what I might do is, oh, it's a shame that that gesso is not really kind of dry, doesn't it? But yeah, I think just going to kind of place things where I'm roughly thinking they might go. So, I mean, obviously I've covered that word up, but that's fine. I don't mind. Don't mind that. Quite like that butterfly on there. And then I've got some labels and things as well, which I thought would be quite nice. Maybe there. I don't want it to look too much like we've got a line of stuff along there. So that maybe is beginning to look a bit like that. Or maybe over there. That looks a bit better. Right, now I'm wondering whether I want to do some dabbing with some colour. So I've got my little Brian paint sticks, and I've also got some acrylic paints here to the side of me. Let's grab these out. Oops. Now obviously don't forget, a lot of my base work has been done already because of, you know, I've already painted this. So I'm really just kind of topping up what's here already. Obviously if I'd not got anything down, I'd be having to paint the whole thing from scratch. Right, let me see whether my gesso is any drier. No, it's not. Oh, this is very annoying. Should really spend the time actually drying it, shouldn't I? Well, I'm wondering actually whether we could go round the frame. Oh, I'm going to have to dry this because, you know, I can just see this coming. I'm going to have smudged it. I've nearly smudged it already, look, with the label just dropping onto it. So, yeah, just bear with me for a couple more minutes. Okay. Even if I just get it dry on the frame so that I can work on the frame would be a good thing. Because I want to add some sort of depth and colour onto the frame so that it looks more interesting. And generally want to kind of warm the whole thing up. So, yeah, I'm hoping that we're going to be able to do that. Okay. Honestly, this is a bit like watching paint dry. Oh, we are watching paint dry. sorry, that's what my kids would call a mum joke. And the worst bit is I would obviously be sat there laughing with my children, you know, nor with them. I say with them, on my own, I mean, not really with them. They would not be laughing. They would be saying, oh, Mum, what's wrong with you? What's wrong with you, Mum? So, yeah, I mustn't say mum jokes whilst I'm on here. But obviously, to me, that just seemed very appropriate there. Right, okay, so, sorry for the jogging of the table. Right, we've got this piece now that we can put back in. Right, so I've got this brown acrylic. Let's just give this a bit of a shake. Now, let's move these bits out of the way. Let's just put some onto my table. So I do apologise. Let me move my camera slightly so you can kind of see a bit more what I'm doing. So I've just dabbed some down here. And I'm thinking just kind of go around, you know, warming this up in some patches. Like this. Now, do I dare go over this gesso? Do we think it's actually dry enough? Is the question. Let's start here. Oh, it's not really. It's not really. It's, yeah, kind of smudging into it. Oh, dear. Oh, that's very annoying, isn't it? Let's just do a bit up here. Okay. Maybe a little bit here as well. I mean, I just like using my finger, to be honest, because, you know, I'm probably just not really experienced enough at using a brush, to be fair. But, you know, I think using my finger, I kind of get the most kind of control. But, yeah, that's probably just my excuse because I don't really kind of have the skill with a brush, but... Okie dokie. It's a bit of a shame about that gesso, isn't it? The fact it's not really dried yet. Okay. Well, I mean, I'm quite liking the frame already, to be honest. I think it looks really nice. Now, do I dare go in with any paint? You know, brown metallic. The reason I say that is because I have tried the brown metallic a few times and kind of decided I don't like it so much as the gold, but let's just be brave, shall we? So I'm just going over there. I mean, the good thing is with these little brown paints, they are very blendable. So, you know, they are quite easily blended, which is a good thing, I guess. I'm just going to go around here as well. Actually, I'm wondering whether I could go around with a... Aha! So that's with a wet wipe. And of course then it's, you know, blending in much better. Much more like it. Okay. I'll just go over the top a bit as well with the wet wipe as well. Yep. Okay. Then down on this side as well. Again, just a bit over the top there. Let me just go over and then go along this side there, along the top. Okay, maybe just touch there at the bottom. I'm so sorry, it's very hard fitting this in, obviously. Yeah, I don't know whether I can raise the camera anymore. The problem is it comes to the point where it's like, oh, it's now raised so high that you can't really see any detail of what I'm doing. So it's quite tricky to get the balance just right, I find. Right, let's have a look. Because, yeah, I want to have kind of a bit of interest on the frame. I don't want it to be, you know, completely like the same, you know, the same colour all the way around. I want it to be a bit sort of interesting. So just going over this gesso with the metallic paint stick. Again, just dabbing it really with my finger rather than taking the stick directly to it. Okay. Bit there. And then I'm going to add some gold in a minute, which I'm hoping is going to make kind of all the difference. Okay. Oops, should we have some this side as well? Because, yeah, just suddenly thought we've got these little, you know, harlequin patterns as well. So, yeah, let's just pop a bit in there on that side. Okay, right. Well, that gesso is not really dry, so that one's not gone too brilliant. I should have actually dyed my gesso, to be honest. That probably would have been, you know, the best way to have done this, but yeah, again, did not occur to me to do that. Right, now thinking the gold. Let's take the... I've also got my gold acrylic, so I'm kind of deciding and debating which one to do. I'm going to put some gold down onto the desk. There, that brown. Let me just see how that looks colour-wise. They're very similar, to be honest. Let's try it like this. I'm going to dip it into that brown a bit. Okay. Just like building up the layers here. So let's just have a look and see how that looks. Yeah, we've got a bit of gold now going on. Let's just have a look here. Put a bit of gold on this side as well. Okay. And then up this edge. Okay, just turn it round. Now you can probably see, but I had originally painted this with duck egg blue, you know, which I did really like, to be fair. But obviously now I'm going in with the browns. I'm kind of thinking, you know, I'm going to have to go over the duck egg blue to kind of, well, brown it up, I guess, because otherwise it's just, yeah, it's not probably going to go very well. So, yeah, hopefully I'm going to brown the duck egg blue up at some point. Okay. Let's just put this down again. Okay, so I've got some sort of more interest now going on. Let's just put a bit more here. I'm just going to smudge that a bit with the wet wipe. I do love using a wet wipe, I must say. It just makes things really easy, you know, to blend, really. So yeah, I'm just going to put some up here so that, you know, I've got much less. Oops, now look what I've done. Dabbed the acrylic paint all over here. Well, actually, that looks okay. So yeah, perhaps I will just go in and dab some around here. Okay. Well, that's one way to get some colour on, isn't it? You know, do it by accident. Okay. Now, my only reservation is it's not going into the corner. So I'm going to just try now. Yeah, because I want it to look seamless. I don't want it to look like it's, you know, been done while the picture's in the frame, if you see what I mean. I want it to look a bit more where you can't then see the join. Right, let's just smudge this out a bit. Okay. And then in this corner, let's go with some of the gold. So again, doing that same thing, kind of like poking it into the corner, so it's, you know, not got that sort of obvious, you know, stopping line, if you see what I mean. Okay. Again, just going up that edge. And across here. Okay. Yeah, I quite like how that's looking so far. Getting a nice, you know, a nice range of colour, aren't we? So, bearing in mind that snippet roll I'm hoping is going to go on here. So it's going to cover up, you know, a lot of this anyway. So, yeah, don't probably need to worry too much. Okay. I'm now thinking that looks too bronze over there, so just kind of going over that bit, a little bit like that. Because that brown, you know, the metallic brown that I used, it looks quite pinkish, you know, now in hindsight. Obviously I didn't think so at the time, but yeah, it's maybe looking a bit pink. So just, yeah, just blending that in a bit. Okay. Right. Well, I'm really loving that frame so far. Let me just put this higher. And I do apologise now if it's kind of like less detail. It's hard to know whether to have less detail higher up or, you know, more detail but lower down, if you see what I mean. You know, less showing. Right, so that's my snippet roll that I'm hoping to put in here, which I think looks really pretty, doesn't it? So, yep, and we're going to build up some other bits and pieces like inside here as well. So, yeah, quite like the label. Got my walnut stain, which I'm still using. So, yeah, now I'm going to walnut stain around my snippet roll. Hope I don't live to regret this. Okay. Okie dokie. Yeah. Yeah, so I'm going to have this glued on here. Now, I'm just deciding how best to glue this. Thinking probably with my tacky glue. I could use Mod Podge. I could, of course, use my hot glue. You know, which might be quite nice because I could have it a bit more raised then. Now, the other thing is I thought that we could have some, you know, some raised kind of elements. So maybe like some buttons and stuff. So just kind of like positioning some around here. Now these are some of those buttons that I've, you know, patinaed. So I thought they would look quite nice. And I've also got some lace, which I'd quite like to have some lace kind of hung around maybe. That looks pretty, doesn't it? Yeah, loving how that looks. Now what should I do with that butterfly? There it is. Right. Please excuse my voice. I have got a cold at the moment. So it's one of those that's making me feel puffed out. You know, I feel fine. I'm not feeling ill anymore. I did feel a bit poorly, but yeah, I feel fine now. But it's just one of those that's making me feel a bit puffed out. So I do apologise. Oh, that's quite nice. Or, oh, how about that? Oh, you can't see that. Hang on. How about that? Like in the middle. Or you could have it here. It's a shame it's not bigger, because that would have been quite cool in the middle, wouldn't it? Oh gosh, this is tricky, tricky, tricky. Right. Do I want any gold elements? Like, do we want to put some gold around here? Hang on. Oh, yeah, I love that gold, honestly. Just, I can't get enough of the gold. Just looks so scrumptious, doesn't it? Right, now, do we want to have a bit of gold around the edge of here as well? Let's do that. Okie dokie. Oops. Okay. Yeah, love those touches of gold. They look really, really pretty, don't they? Oh, I still don't know whether to just hot glue this down. I think it would be nice because it would be raised, which, yeah, I like the raised look. It's, you know, it just adds something, doesn't it? Now, do I want to go round any of these bits with gold? Kind of thinking maybe some gold in those flowers. What do we think? Yeah, let's do that. So let me just get, trying to get a brush that's going to be skinny enough to be able to put those gold dots. Oh gosh, is this going to be skinny enough? That's the question. Okie dokie. And that one there. That bit there. Oops. Probably should have glued this down first, because now, of course, I now need to wait for those to dry. But they'll only take a few minutes, all being well. Right, yeah, love those little touches of gold. Now, do we want anything else? I have got these kind of like, I think this was decorated jewellery that we did together. So I'm thinking some of this somewhere would be quite nice. Yeah, that looks good on there, doesn't it? I mean, these just, you know, they're so pretty. I think they would look good kind of anywhere, really. I don't want them kind of opposite corners, do I? That's just very strange. Oh, no, prefer that one, I think. Right, okay, let's move that out of the way. Let's see what else I've got laying about. Now, I was thinking wax seal somewhere. Let me see. Right, sorry for jogging the table again. Honestly, every time I get out, my knees are kind of like tucked into the table, you know, and then jogging it. So I do apologise for that. Right, let's have a look. Right, I'm just having a very quick rummage through to see what else I might have, you know, that would be good on this. Oh, come on. What else have I got? Oh, I have got this, which I've been hoarding. No, I must continue to hoard that, honestly. What was I even thinking? Thinking I was going to use that? No way. No way, Jose. Okay. I mean, it comes to the point, doesn't it, sometimes, where you can't bring yourself to use things, you know. I have got all those lovely cabochons that we made. Oh, she's rather nice on there. Oh, I've just put that straight down on that gold paint. What's wrong with me? Well, I'm going to keep that out just in case. I'm not saying I'm going to use it, but just in case. Right, and the other thing that I have got is I've got some flowers, which, again, kind of thinking might want to use some flowers on here. So I'm just going to pull these in. Oops. Okay, and oh, I've got a couple of brown ones as well. The brown might look quite nice, mightn't they? Yeah, because I've got kind of a rich browny kind of look going on across here now. Okay, what do we think? Honestly, it's so full and cluttered up now. I can barely see the wood for the trees, as they would say. Right, I'm just having a look to see what other lace I've got laying around. just in case I need more lace. Because, you know, can never have enough lace, can we? Right, okay. Okay, right. I think it's probably time to get gluing some stuff down, to be honest. So I've got a bit more lace here now. Right, the original thing that I was thinking was, did I want some lace coming out under my snippet roll to give it a bit more texture? I don't know whether that really adds anything, to be honest. I might be better off having some lace, maybe like in the frame. Or maybe just a bit of lace, like maybe in kind of just the centre or something. Got this little tiny bit, which we could just have that, I suppose. Maybe like here. Right, let's put that bit of lace here. I'm just going to attach it onto the back. Okay. Oh. Now I've got glue on here. What is wrong with me? Right, okay, I'm going to glue the snippet roll down because, you know, like we always say, I just think it's really helpful once you've committed to one piece. It kind of, you know, you've got somewhere for the other pieces to go from. All the time your pieces are still loose. It's very hard, I think, to work from that. Because every time you pick up one piece, it moves something else, you know. So, yeah, I just find it really helpful to get something fixed on. So I'm going to put plenty of this down. And then I'm going to try and not press it too hard, so I've got it, you know, raised for a bit of a 3D thing, like that. Okay. Now I'm doing it in 2 halves because it's quite a long piece, so I'm going to glue this piece, you know, separately. Okay. Now, just before I do that, let's just see if we want to put anything coming out behind it, because if we do, you know, it might be that now's the time. So let's just trim my stems off the flowers like that, and that one. Oops. Oh, I mean, don't they look so cute, just like nestled in there? Now I wonder if I could. This is probably going to look horrendous, but yeah, just wondered whether I could dab some gold onto the flower. It's not really looking very good, to be honest. It's not quite kind of working how I'd hoped. Glitter would have worked better, I think. But hey, now I've done it, I might as well fully do it. Okie dokie. Oh gosh, that flower looks terrible now. Terrible. Kind of like doesn't really even resemble a flower now. Which, that does happen sometimes, doesn't it? When you kind of like muck around with something. You know, sometimes I just end up with then an unidentifiable object. You know, that went from being a perfectly identifiable object previously. And then just loses its identity. Just inking it to see whether I can pull it back from the brink. No, it still looks rubbish. Oh dear. What do we think to that? Yeah, I don't like it, to be honest. Right, let's pull in another one. These are just some really cheap flowers from that shop, the range that we have over here. The brown ones aren't. They're some really nice flowers from, what's it called? Wild Orchid Crafts, which I haven't bought any from there for a really long time. I probably could do with buying some more. Because, yeah, probably I'm running low. Not that I use them particularly often, but just occasionally I do. But I haven't ordered there for, you know, from a really long time. So, right, okay, so let's just have a look here. see if we want, let me cut this lace in half because I don't want it all. I think that's just too, you know, too big, too much. That's quite nice, isn't it? I know it's quite a bit going on in that corner now, but you know, I think that's quite nice. Okay, just getting another brown flower just to see if we want that anywhere. Right, let me move those for a minute. Okay, I'm going to have this up here. Oh, I don't know now. I mean, that's quite nice there. We could have it at the top. Right, let's glue this on. Again, going to just, you know, apply lots of glue and really not press it down too much. So again, I've hopefully got that raised thing going on. Okay. Right, now my big butterfly, which I did really like. I don't know. Maybe I need the flowers here. Maybe I need them on the frame. Oh, that's probably nicer, I think, actually, on the frame. Maybe there. Yeah, I quite like that with like a big cluster of stuff going on, I think. So, right, this all needs gluing in layers. So, going to glue this lace down. Okay, whoops. Okie dokie, and just a little bit here. Going to glue this piece down. Now again, I mean, I just use my hot glue. I mean, I just find hot glue really quick and easy, and I do find it the best, you know, the best glue to hold everything in place. It's, you know, very strong. Very strong, but equally you can kind of peel things off if you needed to. So, you know, I think you get quite a good degree of flexibility with it. Right. Don't know where to have this. I mean, I guess I don't have to have it anywhere, but I feel like I'd like it somewhere. I do quite like it here. The only thing is it's kind of like up one end, you know, if you see what I mean. So what I might have to do is press it more on the fabric end, so as it squishes down, so as it's not like slanty, if you see what I mean. Right, let's glue this flower down. Whoops. And this one. Yeah, I just fancied doing this today. I thought, oh, I know what I could do today. You know, it's been a long time since I've done anything like this, and yeah, like I say, it's just been sat behind my desk for the longest time, so I thought, let's get this off the floor and actually get it used up. So I hope that you like how it's turning out. It's, you know, it's quite fun. Quite a fun one to do. Now, wondering whether I want to go around some more gold. Right, let's glue this butterfly down. I'm going to leave those wings flapping. I mean, that does feel a bit dangerous, to be honest, being a canvas, but I mean, I could, yeah, perhaps I'll apply some glue here so it's glued down, but you know, again, it's not flat. I've not pressed it really firmly in. Okay, That's probably better, isn't it? I felt like it was a little bit too vulnerable otherwise. Right, got another flower here, so I'm just going to see whether we could have this anywhere. That's quite nice over there. Just going to put these 2 buttons down. Did we talk about having these here before? I think we did. It's a bit weird, isn't it? Sorry, hopefully you can see that a bit better now. Right, let's try this here. Just wondering. Oh no, that looks terrible. That looks terrible. Right, okay, let me turn this round so that I can glue the rest of that snippet roll in place. So just like the rest of it, we put in just plenty of glue on, you know, so it's not going to be stuck really squished down, because we want it to look slightly 3D. Okay. So anywhere where it's needing some extra glue, you can just touch in afterwards. So like that little dice, and like these flowers, I can just now just, you know, touch them in like that. Oops, I feel like that needs a little bit more in the corner. Okay. Oops. Okay, right. I'm going to put this lace trim here. Okay. Oops. It's a bit hot on my finger. Okay, right, let's turn it round. So we just need some extra glue here to hold that sort of flatter. Okay. Right. Let me just raise this slightly more, so hopefully this is all now in frame. I'm hoping. Right. Do we want to have this? I mean, that is pretty, isn't it? No, I think she is quite nice over there, funnily enough. Okay, so I'm just going to glue her down. Now she's got that little, you know, hook on the top, the little hole there, where she could have, you know, attached to a chain, but, you know, I'm not worried, it's fine. I don't mind that being on there. It looks fine. Oops. Do we want to have that button there? I think it's quite nice on there, isn't it? Okay. So now, really, it's just this flower. Do we want to have this flower anywhere or not? Let me just... Oh, I'm so sorry. It really is very, very difficult to fit this in. It's quite a big piece. And, you know, it's just not lending itself to be fitted in anywhere. Just seeing whether we want to have any bling or anything. Oops. Let's just check on the butterfly. Finish that off, shall we? Just get a little row of 3. Let me just check what that looks like. Yeah, that's pretty, isn't it? So I'm just going to attach that here on there. Oh, the other thing that I was going to do actually was put some words. If they look fine, they might look rubbish, but I think, yeah, I've pulled in with me some of these metal charms from Tim Holtz. Now, these I received in a happy mail. Whoops. Oh, I'm not sure they're going to look quite right, actually. Because I was thinking we could have the word love. But, yeah, I think they're better off with just one, you know, when they're hanging, just one. I think they're going to look a bit weird with, like, 4 of them. Yeah, definitely looking a bit strange, aren't they? Yeah, perhaps we'll save those for a different project. I'm not sure that they're quite right on here. Right, let's put those back. Oh, I mean, I know it's looking pretty full, but do we want anything else? I know, you're probably thinking, oh, what else can you possibly fit on there? It's got everything hanging off already. But sorry, I just had to chuck that behind me. But yeah, you know what I'm like. Enough is never quite enough. Let me just put some gold edging around here. It's got a lovely feel, this canvas picture now. Feels very vintage to me. I mean, it's quite nice up there. I mean, originally I was thinking here. Oops. Sorry, I've got hot glue threads now everywhere. Let me just see whether I want any more buttons anywhere. Maybe one there. It's quite nice. Now, are we going to have that other flower there? Yeah, let's just go for it. Okay. I didn't ink that flower up, actually, I just realised. But to be honest, I don't think it looks terrible. I think it looks okay, even though one's inked and one's not. I don't think it looks too bad. Okay. I think the only other thing, actually, I wouldn't mind trying is, you know, to see whether it might look good with a bow. Because I just think maybe a bow might look quite cute on there. Let me just have a look through my envelope of my fussy cut pieces and see if I've got a bow that would be a good colour. I've got that one. Let me just take that off for a minute. It's quite nice, isn't it? What do we think? Do we think the bow looks better or the label? Got this label as well. I think maybe like that. Now I'm just going to check whether I want any more butterflies. Oh, just spotted I've got a little polka dot bow. That one's very tiny. I have one that's a bit bigger. I don't think that's the right colour. Right, okay. Let's just see. I know. I mean, I'm just now, you know, playing around, probably ruining it, adding too much stuff. I wonder if I could have that in there. It's quite nice, doesn't it? Yeah, let's do that. Okay, right. I mean, do you see how sometimes just, you know, although it doesn't seem like it needs anything else, once you hold something else there and then you take it away, it's surprising how actually it does seem, does seem to need it. You know, I mean, obviously if you didn't try it there in the first place, you'd be perfectly happy with it, wouldn't you? But once you've tried something, you know, it's hard not to include it. Right, so let's just quickly ink this bow up. Again, I mean, this bow doesn't really need inking, but let's just try it. Okay, let's move that out of the way. Yeah, okay. That looks cute. And then this one here. Again, do we think we should do that with the gold edge? Yeah. I do just love having those gold edges. It just really finishes it off really nicely, doesn't it? Okay, and just talking of gold edge, I'm just going to put some gold edge here. And just smear it along the bottom. Maybe here. Okay. A bit round here. I'm going like gold crazy now. It's hard not to be honest, because the gold is so yummy to use. Okay. Right. Just pulling my hot glue threads off that are just trailing around the board. Okay. Right, let's pop this one. Oops. Pop this one down. Like that. Okay, yep. And then this one, hopefully dry. Check I've got it up the right way before I end up gluing it upside down. Because that would not finish it very nicely, would it? Then having our piece upside down. Okay. There we go. Oh gosh. I've smudged the gold now. Well, it was bound to happen, wasn't it? Because I couldn't be bothered to wait for it to dry. So, yeah, I'm surprised it hadn't happened before, to be perfectly honest. Oh, well. Right, what do we think? The only other thing that I think it could possibly do with is maybe a corner. One of those metal corners, which, have I got some here? Not sure whether I have, actually. No, I don't think I have. So, yeah, we will forego the... Oh, hold on. I was about to say we'll forego them, but now I think I've spotted some down here inside of my desk. Oh, come on. Oops. I don't know where this would even go, to be honest. I'm probably just talking utter rubbish. I mean, it's lost there, isn't it? Yep. Pretty much lost. Pretty much lost everywhere it goes, to be perfectly honest, because it's actually, you know, quite fussy now, isn't it? Unless we have it like there. What do we think? Can we move those? See, what happens is then you move them and then you just think, oh, actually it looks rubbish without them. So therefore, based on that, they're going on. Okay, one. And then the other one. Okay, looking good. Okay, I think that's probably it. I mean, I don't think I could possibly cram anything else on there, try as I might, but yeah. So yeah, I hope that you like it. I mean, I think it looks really pretty. Hopefully you guys all like it as well. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Hopefully this might have inspired you to get some of your old pictures out and just, you know, play around with them and change them into something that you would like to have hanging in your craft area or anywhere else around the house. So yeah, thank you so much for watching and I will see you guys soon. Thanks then. Bye.